What's the next thing you remember after that? Did you lose time, so to speak, as he mentioned? Was
I
that part
did.
of the experience?
I
Okay.
did. I was actually I don't even remember the hospital that I was taken from and brought to the rehabilitation center.
Mm.
Um, Things started coming back clear when I was actually in the rehabilitation center. Like the rehabilitation center is set up where it's almost like an apartment complex. It's a whole facility, and
Hmm.
I remember having a great view and whatnot. And
So,
so
so so in the rehabilitation centers, if we can go back, let's say to when you actually woke up and you were aware, you were able to be aware and understand certain things. What went through your mind when you were when the doctors explained to you what you had experienced and what had happened?
honestly, I was very calm and took the information in, and it was calm. But the first person I thought about was my mother.
Hmm.
Yeah, first
Why
person.
your mother?
6 months before that, my mother passed away unexpectedly. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then two
So
months, 10 days before that, my brother passed. So it was
that's
a series of things that took place during that time.
and when you were told what had happened and your diagnosis and maybe what to expect, so to speak, as far as what your life would look like moving forward, what did you immediately think then? What did they? Well, let's go back. What
Yeah.
did they tell you? What
Well,
did
he
they tell
said
you life would be like?
I had a bleed on the brain. I probably wouldn't be able to walk again, and that I would need, you know, 24-hour care and what have you. And as this guy was prescribing all this stuff to me and wheelchairs and walkers and stuff like that, the first thing came to my mind was, you got to be giving that shit to somebody else because that's not for me. So, and I told him that, and he was like, "Nah, you're gonna need this stuff when you leave this place." I say, "But not for long. I'm not gonna need that for long." So he was like, I like your spirit." I was like, I said, "I tell you what, when I start walking again, because he's a runner. We got to know
Hmm.
each other. It's my neurologist." I said, when I start walking again, I'm gonna challenge you to a race." He said, "I don't know how you're gonna do that." I said, I'm gonna challenge you to a race. But yeah, I didn't take that in. Everything that he told me, give me the
Hmm.
paralysis, stuff like that. I never envisioned myself in a wheelchair. I never envisioned myself walking on a walker and with assistance and all that. I never envisioned that.
That's interesting. So you had that type of mindset even from the very beginning before
Yeah,
that this wasn't going to be your life and you weren't going
at
to
all.
this is
I
not
never
going to
accept
wasn't going to be how your story ended.
that, not at all. And I wouldn't say I was in denial. I wasn't in denial at all. It was just said, hey, that's not me, and I'm not gonna let this beat me. And I did feel like my back was against the wall because my mother was gone and my closest confidant was gone who would actually be there to assist me. I felt like my back was against the wall, but I wasn't giving in. So that kind of fueled my fire that they weren't there.
Mm,
Kind of fueled my
interesting.
fire that they weren't there. So
So and so it's interesting because I think it's, just from me knowing you and, I call it a lot of times, that this ego that you have and that sometimes you need to operate with a little bit more humility, which I still believe in certain instances and situations and whatnot.
right.
However, it seems that this level of confidence in yourself and your ability to kind of will certain things for yourself really paid off in this process for you.
Yeah, I speak about that in the recovery book, man. You have to have a certain type of mindset when you're facing that type of mountain. You have to.
Mhm.
And thank God I was blessed with confidence and I just tackled it, man. I wasn't running from the pain. I ran toward it. I ran toward the further I ran toward it, the more energy it gave me to fight this thing. So, you have to have some type of confidence to walk around with the partially paralyzed arm and leg, partially blind. I didn't see myself that way, and I didn't want anyone to do the woe is me or anything like that. Just, hey, direct me where I need to go. I'll take it from there. And I think that, it's very important for people with different abilities to know that. Like life doesn't end when you lose a limb. Life doesn't end when you lose your sight. You just got to dig in and dig a little deeper and get it going. Life doesn't end, it's just the beginning.
So this is a mindset that you had prior to this. It would seem, how, like, where does that come from? Where do you even know or remember? Like, it seems like you've always had that level of
Yeah.
self
My,
confidence in
my
yourself.
parent my parents instilled that in me as a young
Mhm.
kid. They coined me my nickname in the household was the general. I was the youngest of four boys, and I never understood why they called me G. And my mother was like, "Well, we called you G for general because you pretty much ran
Oh.
the house." It's like, wow, that's interesting. So, and my father always gave me a voice. When it was time for spankings and stuff like that. You can imagine what it's like with four boys in the home.
Mhm.
Four young boys in the house, like stair steps. And he would always get me to go in and litigate for my brothers. Like, why shouldn't they get a whooping? So I would have to plead the case on why they shouldn't get any whoopings or anything like that. And most of the time, they didn't get it because I was pretty good at litigating their case.
Side, but side, look, sidetrack, Carol. How did that go over with your brothers, being that they're all older than you?